Hello and welcome to the Sandbox Daily with me, John Jordan. So what have we got going on today? Well, it is a partnership between the Sandbox and this company called Zepeto. I've not heard of Zepeto, but sounding like it's pretty big in Asia, particularly South Korea. Zepeto is a company that is part of Nava Corporation. And that is, they own the Line messaging platform, which is pretty big in certain areas. Particularly, Line is massive in Japan. It's kind of grown in the West as well, but particularly in Asia. Despite the fact that most of us have never heard of it, I guess that Zepeto has over 200 million lifetime users in the 2 years since launch. It is a mobile kind of avatar system. So it's very kind of similar to a lot of the things we're seeing now, with people having these kind of virtual identities and using them in quite a kind of playful way in kind of social networks and stuff. And so these are sort of I guess we can see them as the next generation of sort of social networks. And it's kind of interesting that it's coming to the Sandbox, which is obviously much more focused on games and a blockchain game at that. So this is kind of bringing together a large audience of people who sort of understand digital identity, and something like the Sandbox might really appeal to them. So I'm seeing this as more of a sort of marketing tie-up. Obviously, it could go deeper than that. We'll have to kind of see what happens. So it's saying here the partners will offer parallel 3D space in their virtual worlds. So obviously in the Sandbox, I guess we will see a Zepeto kind of a Sandbox area in there. Quite how the Sandbox will be populated in Zepeto, I don't know. People will be doing things, socializing, chatting, interacting, fun, and accessing NFTs. So the obvious thing you would do with the Sandbox, we're seeing this quite a lot. We have a lot of brand deals with the Sandbox that haven't been announced yet, some that have, but we will see these kind of styled Zepeto items, equipment, wearables, art, and decorative assets be made available in the Sandbox. So I guess the kind of point here would be that people who are into Zepeto can now, it's not a 3D world sort of environment, but if they want to, they can get involved, buy their own land in the Sandbox and kind of create their own sort of Zepeto themed world in there if they want to. It will be interesting to see quite how deep this goes. I think there's a lot of times you can just do these kind of crossovers, and the audience is not very clear that they have a lot of overlap. I don't know enough about Zepeto to know if they would be really into something like the Sandbox. We'll have to kind of wait and see, but at least you have the sort of marketing to potentially 200 million people. Obviously the Sandbox, nothing like that that sort of scale, not launched yet, but kind of well under 1 million people probably even heard of the Sandbox. We say here, so this is going to be the Sandbox in Zepeto world and Zepeto world in the Sandbox. Get some idea of what these things look like. I don't know. So is that Sandbox in Zepeto? I suppose I don't know which way around those are. Anyway, so the first we'll have a specific NFT sale on May the 12th in the marketplace. So this is not. So this is within the Sandbox web browser environment in their NFT marketplace, which went live about 3 weeks ago now. So we're going to have just under 1,000 NFTs made available in Sand, and 2 exclusive Z human characters. So I guess maybe these 2 characters are going to be sold on OpenSea. So these small NFTs be fairly cheap, I would think, kind of be between $50 max. These ones are obviously going to be on an auction, could go for probably would go for a lot more as well. So anyway, it's good to see that the Sandbox is still kind of banging out these partnerships or announcing them. We can see it's got over 60 announced, over 60 made. Most of these haven't been announced yet, so a long way still to go yet. And the interesting news here, I mean, we were waiting for this in January. I don't know whatever happened to it. It kind of disappeared quietly. The original kind of playable, but now we're scheduling to launch the first public alpha in Q2. So Q2 generally seen as April, May, June. So maybe a little time off yet, a few weeks off yet, but finally we will have this kind of a first public alpha of the kind of features, and we'll see what's going on there. Anyway, thanks for watching. We will certainly be there, the Sandbox Daily, kind of eagerly awaiting the D-Day of launch. Even an alpha launch will be exciting. So please subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, and see you again soon.